Well guys, welcome back to another episode. We are here with the shed wall, and one of my favorite times of the year is coming up, and it's shed season. Who wouldn't love shed season? Go around finding all the sheds from all the deer around the properties you can hunt, and maybe properties you don't hunt. Maybe you just enjoy walking around like I do. But today I'm going to be giving a few tips on how you can find more sheds in the deer woods. So let's jump into it. One of my all-time favorite spots to look for sheds has to be on field edges. Obviously, late season, deer are going to be feeding out in the fields, and whether it be a wheat field, a cut bean field, or mostly corn fields, if they can find food, it's usually pretty good. You can find a shed, but like I said, it's very, very easy to see the sheds, especially in a bean field. So that's one of my favorite spots to look. Even right on the field edges where they've got trails going into the woods, that's a very, very high percentage area where you can find sheds. Always follow those trails wherever them trails are going back and forth, because those travel corridors are what them deer are moving, obviously. And if you can find a shed laying around there, it's usually going to be on them trails going through them woods. Most of the sheds that we found this year were on the field edges where they go into woods, big CRP, thickets, on them travel corridors going back and forth. And even when they're in their bachelor groups, you can find multiple antlers looking at, if you just find one and then look around. Very, very high percentage you can find another one within the next 100-yard radius. Since I am talking about bedding areas or big thickets, CRP, overgrown fields, that is another very, very good spot to find sheds. These deer in the harsh winters are going to find places to bunker down, stay hidden, away from all the predators and everything. So they will stage in those big bedding areas, especially if you're in a thicket and you've got all the cedar trees and everything. That is a very good spot to look for sheds. Then deer will be moving through there, catch their antlers on the branches, and sometimes you can find a hanger shed. If you're hunting in a big woods, you might have a south-facing slope in the woods, and what the deer do is they sit on those south-facing slopes because that's where they can get the most sun and warmth in the cold, harsh weather. So it's very easy for you to find sheds in their beds whenever they're laying there on that south-facing slope. That's another good area to look. If you have any fence rows or anything like that, like fences running through your property, it's very high percentage that them deer can run through a fence row or a fence, hop the fence, and then their antler just drops off right there. So if you walk along a fence, you could probably find a lot of sheds along there. This tip is very helpful for going in and finding sheds. Maybe you haven't shed hunted this property or anything. Don't go in intruding all of the bedding areas or going out in the fields and stuff right before shed season, just because there's really no reason to. When them deer are left alone, they feel safe there, and it really, really does help find more sheds. Majority of the sheds that we found last year, which are on this bottom row, we found 82, I think, but a lot of those sheds came from big thickets like CRP, where the deer are going to lose their antlers in the thick brush and stuff, like the pines and everything. So always keep your eye out when you're looking around there, and yeah, it's a good tool to know. If you don't take anything away from this video, listen to this tip right here, because it is one of the most important ones. If you're wanting to find deer sheds, you have to put your feet on the ground and walk countless miles. Me and my brother probably walked 30 miles at least, and we found 82 sheds this year. I ended up this year during gun season was walking around looking at 2 bucks, so I was trying to sneak around on this property so I could get downwind of them, and I found 2 sheds, old sheds, next to each other within 10 yards, and they're actually, I don't have the other one in here, but this happened to be one of them, one of the biggest sheds I found this year. Really cool. And what we're thinking is, we found this shed the 2 years prior to it, and we're thinking it's off of the same deer just a couple years later. So that's pretty cool. Obviously this is a year-old shed, so maybe he's still alive. We don't know. We just started hunting this property this year. We've always shed hunted it. But like I said, first year hunting it, found this shed. Pretty cool. We found multiple other big match sets out there. Just haven't had any luck seeing them in person, but that's usually how it goes. I hope everyone found this video useful. Please consider liking and subscribing, and you can't find sheds from the couch, so we'll see ya.